Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to start the process of building a row home for our little trolley layout that's under construction. This initial mock-up was for what I thought I was going to do for a 2-story with concrete base, steps up. I'll have a door, a window, and 2 doors, and then some sort of facade, hence the cutout here. But it didn't look right proportionally. So I went back to the Cricut design space, and here you can see how I drew it up. I mocked up the doors and windows and locked those up, and then built little bits, mirrored it, and then I just welded them together to make a final shape out of that cardboard. And so you've got a door, a big front window that lets light in. They always had a basement that was half above ground and half below ground. Then you have the upstairs bedroom and a top bedroom. Usually these had full baths in a front and a back. And since most of the houses didn't have windows on the side, they had relatively big windows close together, a big hallway. This would let light go from the front all the way to the back, and from the back windows going the other way. I've got this cardboard cut out. And then, let's see, I got dividers to go between each room. So if I want to light it at some point, we can. And then the side has a little embossing on it. That's, again, from the program. So that will give me a guide as to where I want to put my flat concrete stock. And I have the same thing on the back wall that'll match up. And we'll get to assembling these in a little bit. And just a flat roof, which didn't really need the Cricut, but it makes it easy. You can still get it done with a old-fashioned ruler and knife. Just use a sharp hobby blade. This just makes very precise cuts, and so everything kind of lines up nicely. I also used a Cricut to cut out this Plasticard brick face. And what we've got to do is make sure that our doors and windows match up. So what I have done is I have marked a B, so I remember what side is the back side, because I don't have. So this is the fascia, so I'm going to lay that back. There's my B side, if you will. And so these will sit this way. So I'm going to take the bottoms, put them together, because there's the embossment. And I have this little piece that I started marking out. These are 1.35 inches. So it gives me a 6 3/4 inch width, which kind of looks nice, and it's visual. It's not exactly prototypical, but it looks about right for the eye. So, excuse my reach, I'm just putting some guide marks there. And I take the old ruler. All right, so now what that's going to do, it's going to allow me to take some 1/4 inch balsa stock. I'm going to just glue it in here, and I'll do the corner as well, so that when I bring the corners in, this will be, I'll glue it onto this piece here, and that will allow me to make a square. So let me cut these, and we'll come back and glue it up. All right, so I've cut down the balsa wood. These are the interior walls. I'm going to just demonstrate what I'm doing with those. So first things, bring this up, square that up. I've got some of this thick cyanoacrylate. It won't run, which is nice, but the tip is clogged, so I'm using this bamboo skewer. You can see how thick it is, and that's good for us. So I'm gonna start on this side. Just get out of the way. And you got plenty of time to work with this thicker stuff. So see, I'm just pressing it up against the 1, 2, 3 block, which is machined square. And now everything should be right at the edge. Pull that away. Little accelerator. And that one's set. Let's do the other side. Don't need much. So now you can see we got plenty of time to work with this. Oh, let's get this alone in here. Keep it in check. I just want to make sure it's down on the surface. Put it up against there. I might not need any accelerator. Might have waited too long, but I will hit it with some accelerator. So we'll glue up the corners and we'll be right back. All right, the key for this one is this is the bottom. So that's gonna sit up like that. And then we have this interior wall. It's gonna go here. And you can see it's not quite as high. Then we're gonna have the roof sit on there. I'll have a little bit of a lip above. So what I need to do is lay this down this way. So there's the bottom. And here is the interior wall, which is going to be at the roof height. I'll make sure those bottoms match up. So I got a slightly longer piece of balsa. Put our thick glue at the top, the bottom. Thin coat. I'm trying to, I'm just going to lay it in there. And then I want to come back and I don't care where the bottom lies. I want the top. I want the top even with the top. Accelerator. So now what we should see is when we build up the interior, that's gonna be right at that size. So that'll give, the corners will be supported and then the interiors will be sitting flat on this. When I put the roof in, you'll have that little lip on the front, or on the side, I'm sorry, and in the back, and then in the front they'll glue in place. It'll be that much higher, if you can see it. Cool, I'm gonna finish gluing these up and we'll be back to put the carcass together. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna put some glue on there, I'm gonna hit that, and that corner should give us the two bottoms. And the nice thing too, CA glue makes a really nice stiffener for cardboard. Brick face on. So we slide this in here. Pretty well stuck. Let's just accelerate it. All right. And there is the basic shell. And come back and glue in these bits in here. So I'm going to do that and then we'll be back. I'm going to be worried about getting these front corners aligned and get the walls lined up. I think trying to line up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panels at once. Again, this thick super glue doesn't run, so it's not sticking to the board. And my back side will verify the back side that the doors all match. Yay. So that one's gonna go there. So we'll start with, I'm sorry if I'm blocking the camera, but this is, like, to me, hypercritical to get this corner just perfect. All right, we'll glue up the interiors and then we'll be back and see what progress we can make. All right, here's where we are. I've got the shell built. I have primed the inside, and the roof is not attached at this point. It'll help keep it square, but it also allows me access to the interior if I decide to build some interiors. So this is going to be one of the last pieces to go on. I've got all the bits cut out for this. So next time we get together, I've got to fix that one little mistake. That's why I should have let the Cricut machine run. Is we'll start fixing the brick face, and we'll use some styrene strip to fix the corners, and we will start building some steps, and hopefully get it all done to the point where we're ready to excuse me, decide if we're going to light it or not. But it'll be enough to get it on the layout and see if I like it to build a second set of row homes for the little mini layout. Anyhow, that's it for now, and hopefully in a week or so we'll have an update. Happy model railroading.